What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the world according to Briggs, a channel that is here for you. Well, it's here for me too, but without you, I'd be working a 9-to-5 job and wouldn't be able to make videos. So thank you for being here. The last couple weeks, I've been doing videos about places with a low cost of living and low housing prices. Since I started those videos, I've been getting questions about which Republican conservative states, or red states, are the cheapest. How a location leans politically is very important to a lot of people. To others, it doesn't matter. I'm one of them. I don't care. But I also get the feeling I'm in the minority on that belief. I do understand that human beings like to be around other human beings with very familiar beliefs. They like their own people. In my unscientific study, which includes reading comments and hate mail, I would guess that more than half the people that watch my videos care very much about how their state votes. So we call it the red states. Since the 2000 United States presidential election, red states and blue states have referred to states whose voters predominantly choose either the Republican Party, red, or the Democratic Party, blue, presidential candidates. This list is about the cheapest red states to buy a home. I'll probably only do the red states because there doesn't seem to be much interest for affordable housing in blue states. Nobody's asked me about it, so I guess people don't care. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comment section below, we'll make the video. So, how did we rank these states? I'll tell you. Republicans carried all the states on this list in the last 4 elections, and that's the first category. Second one is, on average, they have really cheap housing. Yeah, cheap places to buy homes. All right, let's see who they are. Number 10, Louisiana. The Pelican State was the first state carved out of the Louisiana Purchase territory in 1812, becoming the 18th state to join the Union, 9 years after the Louisiana Purchase, which was in 1803. In 1976, they tested the water with Carter, didn't like what they saw, and went solid red for the next 3 elections until they suffered memory loss and went with Clinton twice. They have since, I guess, learned their lesson because, as a matter of fact, they may have gone fire truck red with Trump in 2016. Now, you can get some really cheap homes in Louisiana. They have some nice neighborhoods, they have some nice little, areas to live, but a majority of this state is kind of on the poverty side. The median home price here is $161,000. The median home size is 1,600 square feet. So, not terribly small homes for a good price. You just gotta live in Louisiana and deal with mosquitoes and heat, humidity. Number 9, Missouri. The Show Me State got its nickname for being the first state to arrest and convict a man for being an exhibitionist. I'm totally joking. How many of you started Googling it? Missouri became a U.S. territory as part of the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, and a year later, the Lewis and Clark expedition set out from St. Louis to explore the rest of the country. Wasn't the rest of the country then, it was just open space, pretty much. The Show Me State was admitted into the Union in 1821 as part of the Missouri Compromise. Settlers flocked to the state, and by the early 1830s, Mormons started to migrate to the state as well, and within a few years after that, violence broke out between the Mormons and non-Mormons, with the infamous 1838 executive order by Governor Boggs said that Mormons should be treated as enemies and they must be expelled from the state or exterminated if necessary. Great! I'd leave too and head to Salt Lake City. Missouri's followed the same pattern most red states have followed. All red but Clinton and Carter. The median home price in Missouri is $158,000. Not bad. The median home size is 1,400 square feet. Number 8, Nebraska. There are more cows than people in Nebraska, and as you can probably imagine, these aren't pets. The state's biggest farm product is beef. With about 19,000 cattle ranches, people are outnumbered by more than 3 to 1. Nebraska has been solid red since before Nixon. In 2008, the city of Omaha, Nebraska went with Obama while the rest of the state went with McCain. I'm thinking the residents of Omaha got confused with the names and thought that they were voting for the city of Omaha, Nebraska to be the president. Some Cornhusker went into the voting booth and thought, well, look at that. That's new. A city as the president. Let's give that a try. Sort of like when Dairy Queen adds something new to the menu. The median home price in Nebraska is $158,000. That's it. Most of the houses are around 1,700 square feet. Number 7, Alabama. The Confederacy was born in Montgomery, Alabama, and it was the first capital during the Civil War. After the war, segregation was in full bloom down south, and in Alabama, a little bit more. In 1901, the state limited voting rights for thousands of blacks and poor whites through poll taxes, literacy tests, and other restrictive requirements. Anything they could do to keep the poor folks from casting a vote, they did. Speaking of voting, they went with Carter in '76 and decided that was enough. They've been red ever since. The median home price in Alabama is $144,000. That's not terrible. The median size is about 1,588 square feet. Alabama's a weird state, though. You either love it or you hate it. They've got some areas in there that are just downright ugly and you want to stay away from. But then on the other hand, they have some amazing places with amazing people and great architecture and a lot of history. So yeah, it's kind of weird. I've always felt Alabama was just a weird kind of state. But like I said, a lot of people love it. There's a lot of good people there. Number 6, Kansas. About now you're thinking to yourself, hey, are all these states in the South or the Midwest? And the answer is yes, they are. And don't say I'm biased either. I don't control the real estate markets or how people vote. So I didn't make up this list. I'm just going by the numbers. I actually would like to control how people voted. That would be great. I'd have everyone elect Carrot Top as our next president just so I could see every news outlet's election night host use the F word as the results came in. That would be great, wouldn't it? President Carrot Top? The last time Kansas voted Democrat was 1964 when they decided Barry Goldwater was crazy and they should stick with Johnson. The median home price is $143,000. That's not bad money for a house. You're living in Kansas. Kansas isn't the worst state in the union, so you could do so much worse. The median size is 1,522 square feet. Number 5, Mississippi. The Magnolia State was the second state to bail on the Union in 1861. The state's location along the Mississippi River made it a serious strategic military location during the Civil War. Mississippi lost a lot of men during the war. They lost nearly 10,000 soldiers. The 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery, was ratified in 1865 at the close of the war. Mississippi didn't officially adopt it until 1995 and didn't officially notify Washington of the vote until 2013. Nothing like putting things off, guys. Mississippi has been a solid red state since Carter left office. The median home price here is $138,000. That's not a lot of money for a house. The median size is 1,479 square feet. Mississippi always seems to be on the worst lists, and that's probably why real estate prices are so low. They are. I'm surprised they're not the cheapest. Number 4, Kentucky. Officially known as the Commonwealth of Kentucky, this state takes great pride in its history and its culture, including the popularity of its bluegrass music, horses, moonshine, low number of dentists, and bourbon. Kentucky has a couple of my favorite Army bases, Fort Campbell, which is the headquarters for the 101st Airborne Division, and Fort Knox. It's an Army base that dates way back to World War I and actually holds the nation's gold reserve. The Commonwealth did the whole Carter-Clinton thing, and they've stayed solid red since then. The median home price here is $135,000. That's it. We're getting kind of low here. $135,000 is the median home price. Wow. Anyway, the median size is 1,456 square feet. So cheap houses, decent size, and moonshine if you want it. Number 3, West Virginia. One of my favorite states to visit, West Virginia. Like I've said before, this state has a bad rep from a lot of different things. They've had a rough patch for the last decade or so. And it's too bad. In my opinion, this is one of the top 5 states when it comes to good people. You know, this state really deserves a good bounce or two. You gotta love a state that has a governor that drops F-bombs during COVID-19 press conferences and then tries to blame it on technology. I'm not even joking about that. He did it. Jim Justice. He dropped an F-bomb and then came out on Twitter and said, oh, it must have been technical difficulties. Yeah, I have that same technical difficulty. West Virginia is a solid red state these days, but they're one of the only states that voted for Carter against Reagan and Dukakis. If my 79-year-old father told me he would have voted that way, I'd have him checked. The median home price in West Virginia is $132,000. That's not bad money. I could do that tomorrow. The median home size is 1,472 square feet. West Virginia, I think, is a steal. If you have a job that you could bring with you, like working remotely, and you want to save some money, West Virginia is the best bet to do that. And if you're a Republican, conservative, this is also the best state for that, in my opinion. Number 2, Oklahoma. The land that became Oklahoma was added to the United States as part of the Louisiana Purchase in 1803, and the government spent much of the next century trying to relocate the Native American tribes from the southeast region. In 1830, Congress adopted the Indian Removal Act, which almost 200 years later is viewed as one of our lowest points as a nation. With statehood came an oil boom, and much of the state's early growth came from oil. Yeah, drilling, exploration, all that good stuff. These days, they still produce about 68 million barrels of oil a year, and it's still not the best state. They have a lot of unemployment, a lot of people on public assistance. They have also almost never voted for a Democratic presidential candidate. They have been red since Nixon and beyond, and I'm talking solid red. There's no wavering with these people. The median home price in Oklahoma is $127,000. The median home size is 1,508 square feet. And number 1, Arkansas. Arkansas is bordered by Missouri, Tennessee, Mississippi, Louisiana, Texas, and Oklahoma, so they don't have the best neighbors. Texas and Tennessee are decent, but yeah, everyone else they could probably do without. Probably brings them down a little bit. Arkansas has some of the country's most stunning geography. That's a fact, and that's how they got their nickname, the Natural State. They've also been a red state since forever. They are so red, they're scarlet red. They did vote for Clinton both times, but that's because he's a hometown boy. I think most of them still refer to him as Slick Willie. But the median home price in Arkansas is $122,200. That's not bad money. The median home size is 1,500 square feet. So yeah, Arkansas is definitely one of the cheapest places to buy a house in a red state. Alright, so that's today's list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Don't forget all the links below. Give the video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.